right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give it to his mouth and a Rick Flair.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
865-200-5503 is our telephone number to the B Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Swain event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Listen to us on the app, the Swain event app, free for Android and Apple devices. 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports, and at SwainEvent.com. Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, Thursday morning, 3 minutes past the top of the hour. Good morning, individuals. Good morning.
Good morning. What's up? How are you doing, Mr. Jason Swain and Charlie Burris?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Wow. Today is the day that Tennessee Coach Jerm Pruitt will address the media. One day before the start of fall camp. The players are reporting today. And huge bombshell out of Columbus, Ohio. That is Urban Meyer being placed on administrative leave. And we got plenty to dive into, plenty angles to explore. Just man.
Ooh, my chest is hurting. I think I'm going to need to go home and not finish the rest of the show. I don't know that I'm going to be able to return to this radio show. My chest is really locked up this morning.
I would ask, what was the number one play on SportsCenter this morning? Because you know what it should have been? Brett McMurphy dunking on Urban Meyer. Oh, my goodness, man. But remind me, in terms of career advice, don't ever get on the wrong side of Brett McMurphy. Don't call Brett McMurphy a liar. He'll ruin your life. Dude.
I think you should start posting all of your articles on Facebook.
I mean, that was probably the most baller thing about it, is that the reporting was so good, the dude posted it on Facebook, and it was still the number one story in sports yesterday. Facebook. Oh, yeah. He dunked on Urban Meyer on Facebook.
Yeah, a reminder that it is 2018, that you can report a story like that, and it can touch
everybody,
every corner of the world, in the sports world, from just Facebook. And so it's 2018, and Urban Meyer has been flirting with fire for a very, very long time. Over a decade, he's been flirting with fire, and that is not stepping up and doing the right thing. Now, there's no clear, direct evidence that Urban Meyer knew. And so let's paint kind of the picture of what's going on for those that are just now hearing about this. Urban Meyer, former assistant coach Zach Smith, in 2009, was arrested for battery on a pregnant woman that was his now ex-wife. In 2015, he was investigated for suspicion of felony domestic violence. And then this year, July 20, his ex-wife files for a personal protection order. 3 days later, Urban Meyer fires Zach Smith. The ex-wife was visited by Britt McMurphy, and they spent time digging through everything. Britt McMurphy saw text messages. He saw pictures of abuse. He saw a lot of things, spent time with the ex-wife. Also, the ex-wife did a interview. She came out and did an interview, I want to say for what's that website called?
Stadium.
That's
what it was called.
And she laid out that she told Urban Meyer's wife, Shelly Meyer, everything that was going on, that she knew, along with the assistant coaches' wives.
Every single one of them.
They knew. Even Urban Meyer's top aide, who's been with him dating back to his time at Utah, Bowling Green, his wife knew. Everyone seemed to know, as far as the wives, except Urban Meyer. I mean, he's claiming that he did not know when he was asked about Zach Smith's checkered past at the Big Ten Media Days. He says he does not know. He did not know, and that they counseled him and Shelly Meyer counseled this young couple in 2009, and he's aware of that, but he wasn't not aware of what happened in 2015. So here we are. We are supposed to believe that Shelly Meyer talked to this ex-assistant coach's wife that they know history on with domestic violence, and Shelly Meyer did not tell Urban in 2015. That's what we are supposed to believe. We're supposed to believe that. That Urban knew in 2009, but the pictures that surfaced and the conversations that the ex-wife and Shelly Meyer was having, that
the police investigation?
Yeah, the police investigation that Urban did not know in 2015. Now, Charlie, you married.
I am, in fact.
I'm married.
I'm finna be married.
You finna be married. You might as well be married because y'all been together for how many years?
It'll be 7 on 9/11.
Yeah, Ben has literally been together with his fiance longer than I've been together with my wife. So.
Yeah, so 7 years.
Baby, you right.
There you go. You learning. You got it down, Pat. You are ready for marriage, my friend. I don't know about y'all's wife, but I know when something's going on, as serious as that, with a friend or someone that she knows, I'm gonna probably know about it too. I'm gonna be told about something as serious as that. Now, I might get in trouble for saying this, but that's okay. I'll just say, okay, baby, you're right. Now, everything will be good. But yesterday, I got a phone call from my wife. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm trying to get at least a good 5 minutes of just chill time. Just 5 minutes. That's all I'm trying to ask for. Just 5 minutes. I get a phone call from my wife. All she wants to do is tell me that she missed her turn. Well, I'm sorry. It sounds like you need to get off the phone with me and get on Waze. Why are you calling me for? I don't have the answers. Sounds like you need to get on the navigation app. So that's my point. They tell us everything.
My fiance will call me when she's getting off work and say, I'm headed home. And I
get that call almost every day.
And I don't mind it. But my thing is, we can text. just as you're walking out of work, just say, "Hey, I'm headed home."
Hey,
She want to talk though.
we all have that story. So it's just really hard for me to believe that Shirley Meyer did not tell Urban what was going on. And I'll make this last point. We'll go to the phones, and then we'll keep it going and get you guys' input. These coaches that want to put on this front like they don't know what's going on inside their football program is laughable. These coaches, especially the high-paid coaches, the coaches that have a lot of power, they know every single thing that goes on in their football program. They know about your players' girlfriends. They know if a player was out too late. They know everything because everyone in that city reports back to the coach. Everyone reports back to the coach. Everyone. Rick Pitino didn't know. Okay, whatever. Art Browns didn't know. Well, all right, man, whatever. Jim Tressel at first act like he didn't know. Yeah, okay. Everyone knows what goes on inside of their program. You have your hands in so many areas in the program. You are the head coach. You are the manager. So I wish these coaches would stop pretending like they don't know what's going on inside their own program. It's just so it's so tiring. Just stop. Urban Meyer, you knew. You knew what was going on inside your football program. Now, Charlie, Ben, I'm going to go to the phones, and then we'll come back. And there's many different layers here. I have not started to think about Ohio State's recruits. Okay? Yesterday was a day for me where I was really just bothered and angry and disgusted at Zach Smith. I really want to beat him up. I'm going to be honest.
I'll jump in on that. You know, it was funny yesterday after the show, Charlie and I talked about how we had never been in a fight before. I would love for Zach Smith to be the first person I fought.
Yeah.
I would be happy to
I want to beat him up.
To get in on that action.
Not only you put your hands on female in that way, you did that in front of your own kids. What a clown. What a punk. I want to fight him, to be honest. So that was the main thing I was thinking about because as a child, as a 3-year-old child, I witnessed my mother almost be killed and be a victim of domestic violence. As a 3-year-old in Chicago, seeing it and then seeing my mother be taken to the emergency room and me having to go stay with a neighbor, I'll never forget it. I'm 34 years old. It happened 31 years ago. I would never forget the image. I would never forget what happened. And so that's what made me so upset is that these kids are going to have this burning image in their mind of their father for probably the rest of their lives. And that's what pissed me off yesterday. So I haven't thought about recruits that Ohio State may lose. I haven't thought about really jokes about Urban Meyer getting fired. I just haven't. Now, the whole Dan Wolken thing late last night and the coaching stuff, that's a whole nother side that we are going to also get to because it involves Tennessee fans. So I'm going to get to the phones. I'm going to come back, hear from Charlie, hear from Ben. I know, Charlie, you got some things you got to say, and if it includes Dan Wolken. So we will get to that.
There is a development between myself and Dan Wolken that is of interest.
There's a development with Dan Wolken and a lot of folks. And so there's so many different layers, so many different, roads we can go down, and I'm sure we'll do that today. But first, let's get to the phones, and let's get to
Michael.
Michael, good morning.
How we doing, fellas?
Hey, Michael, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I was going to open with a question before I said what I was going to say. Do you think you are going to have some time to get to the punter competition today? I mean, it sounds like it's pretty pressing news with the Trevor Daniels yesterday.
Who are the punters at Tennessee?
Trevor Daniels coming back for a 6th season.
I don't even know the punters'
yes,
names
please.
at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Who are the punters?
Isn't it Laszlo Tozer and
who?
He's the only one I remember because he has a funny name.
The kicker is Brent Samaga.
Who's the punter, man? Who's the punter?
I
Does
think
anyone know?
I think Laszlo Tozer is the imminent. But
What?
I may be wrong.
Who?
Well, exactly.
Well, they just signed Paxton Brooks.
Oh, that's true.
And then they have Joe Doyle, a redshirt freshman from Farragut.
Who's the starting punter?
Grayson Pontius from Biloxi, Mississippi, who came from East Mississippi Community College.
Oh,
Lord. The guy that you were saying, Laszlo Tozer, however you say his name, he is a place kicker.
Oh, well, hey, what do I know? So there you go. So it looks like it's going to be
we have no clue.
Either a freshman or some junior that absolutely no one's heard of. So.
And there is your punter breakdown.
Yeah.
Please.
You stumped us, Michael.
Oh,
we are fake experts. We have no clue who the starting punter is going to be at Tennessee.
Oh, man, I was totally kidding.
I know.
Trevor Daniels' cousin, so I enjoyed that interview yesterday.
Oh,
but,
thank you, man.
Yeah, man. I was going to say, I think the first thing that we all need to keep in mind is Courtney Smith.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I had to catch myself yesterday because obviously it's good for us as Tennessee fans to feel vindicated, I guess, somewhat, after the national media decided to make us all sound like redneck idiots. You know, because Urban Meyer he did such a good job vetting his staff, clearly.
Yeah.
You know, we really got to see that yesterday, and I'm just so glad that he backed Shiano and everything else. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Swain, I mean, I can't imagine how she's felt the last couple of years. So I'm happy for her to be able to tell her story, and hopefully it, you know, affects other people that, you know, maybe are scared to come forward. So I think people need to keep that in mind. And then, like you said too, Charlie, with Brett McMurphy, I think the funniest part, the guy gets laid off by ESPN, and they're still paying his salary through August. And he said on his Twitter account last night he appeared on ESPN on SportsCenter for the first time ever after they laid him off, which I thought is hilarious. And then, you know, breaks the biggest bombshell news on his freaking Facebook page, and they decide to keep other people on staff. You know, I hate the layoffs, but that was great. But yeah, that's just what I want to say about Courtney Smith. And then, you know, it's unfortunate, obviously, for this to have to happen, but feels good at the same time for us to get a little bit of vindication. Hopefully the national media recognizes that. I ride or die for my man, Barrett Sallee. He had our back again last night. So I'll let y'all weigh on it. Enjoy the show, man. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Michael. And that was me yesterday. I mean, I was only thinking about Courtney Smith, the victim in that situation. I didn't forget Urban Meyer. Courtney Smith, Zach Smith, that was kind of where my focus was. And so I really wasn't interested in some of the jokes about recruits and well, it's going to be tough for Tennessee fans to watch, you know, Shiano go win a championship. Sorry, bro. It's just not funny right now. It's just a really bad take right now. It wasn't cute. Terrible timing. Courtney Smith for years has been crying out for help, and no one has really helped her.
Easily, and I said this on Twitter yesterday, the most damning thing that I heard in the interview with her with the stadium was that she said Zach Smith was under investigation for a year. And she said that essentially everyone that needed to know at Ohio State knew, which was a decent number of people.
But apparently Urban did not know.
Oh, of course Urban didn't know. But she said that not a single person came, and even through her attorney wanted to know her side of the story. Like nothing. She said there just wasn't contact from Ohio State. And they knew for a year. That's not defensible, in my opinion. That's beyond Urban Meyer. You know, that's beyond his jurisdiction there, you know, in terms of Ohio State checking in on that situation, although he absolutely should have been involved if it was going to happen. But unfathomable.
Shelly Meyer is a employee of Ohio State. She worked in the nursing department. There's Title IX implications here. So she knew. There's evidence, clear evidence, text messages, her her talking back and forth with Courtney Smith, the ex-wife of Zach Smith. It's plain and dry. Like, she knew. So either Urban Meyer is going to throw his wife under the bus, or he's going to admit that he lied. I mean, one of the two is going to happen. This is a very bad spot for Urban Meyer. But again, this is stuff that Urban Meyer has been doing for years, covering up for people in his organization, whether it's coaches or players, and breaking the law. 41 arrests at Florida. I think I saw a number where it's like 41 out of 120 something players. I mean, it's just ridiculous. All the things that Urban Meyer has let slide to win football games, and it's come back to bite him in the butt.
And there's nothing wrong with giving players second chances. It's the third, the fourth, and the fifth chance.
Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Be right back.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
When you or a loved one is injured in an accident, there are a lot of questions. There are medical bills, lost work time, damages. What will you do? You'll need someone who will have your back. Call former Marine Marcos Garza, 865-540-8300. The Garza Law Firm will be with you every step of the way. Put this number in your phone right now, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress, happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress Back to School bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with a representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
You're listening to the Swain event.
And you know this, man.
865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Let's get to Andy. Andy, good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
We are well, my friend. Well, my friend. What is on your mind today?
Well, you know, like I said, it gets better every day. Now, I'm not going to say Urban Meyer is going to get fired, but if it does happen, I have a better chance of feeling that Darnell Wright will maybe come.
Oh, my gosh.
Now,
but,
Andy,
I don't know.
this makes me happy because Ben and I were having a conversation that because you call in and you talk about recruiting. You're a Tennessee guy to the absolute core, and we were saying, will Andy actually bring up Urban Meyer? I'm impressed because you brought up Urban Meyer, but still found a way to tie it back to Tennessee recruiting. So I have to applaud you. That was very impressive and well done.
Well, you know, I was hoping Darnell Wright would, commit last Saturday. But like he said, he wants to take his time and everything. And I had heard that he wanted to go to Ohio State. Like, the crystal ball predictions have been Ohio State. So I'm like, when this happened,
Andy, that's fake news.
Everything falls into place.
Andy, that's fake news about Ohio State.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. That's fake news.
Good. That's even better then.
Yeah, I mean, people putting the two and two together because he's really close to Columbus from wherever he's from.
Huntington, West
Virginia. But Ohio State's not even in his top two right now.
Well, that makes it even better then. But are y'all going to be down Sunday?
I have no clue, Mandy.
I'll be
there.
No clue. I'll be there because it's media day. Well, it's media day also, so
yeah,
they're combining the two.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing later on this afternoon, day by day, Andy, day by day. So.
All right. Well, if you're down there, I'll see you then.
Well, hey, will do, Andy. Give me a shout, Andy.
Will do, brother.
I'm sorry, man. The first thing I'm thinking about is not Darnell Wright with this whole situation. I get it, as a Tennessee fan, like, you're only thinking about your school. I understand it completely, but Darnell Wright, if you go and look at some of the websites and, people feel like Ohio State has a good chance with Darnell Wright, 5-star offensive tackle in the country. Darnell Wright has a couple other schools that he likes a little bit better than Ohio State from everything I understand. So I get it from a Tennessee fan's perspective. You're thinking about the recruits. You're thinking about the players that could possibly leave Ohio State and come to Tennessee to help our program. I totally understand. But for me, I'm looking at how these young men, all 85 or 120 young men in this football program, has a leader or had a leader that each and every day would preach to them about doing the right thing, about being a better man, going into the living rooms of families all across America and selling the university, the Ohio State University, as being top-notch, athletics, academics, being able to develop you as a man, and then having this stuff go on. Like, for me, that is more of a important issue than Ohio State's recruits, to me, right now. But if I'm a Tennessee coach, and your job is to win, which means you got to get players to win, I'm thinking like Andy. I get it. I understand. Let's keep it going, and let's get to
Rev.
Rev, good morning.
Good morning, individuals. How are we doing this morning?
Good morning, individual Rev.
Swain, I'm pissed off this morning. And recruiting and football, this is bigger than football right now.
It is.
As a father, as a husband, like, this really, really makes me mad. Like, I want to put my hands on him right now. Like, I'm already in Ohio for different purposes for my job. But like, if I see him out somewhere, like it's gonna be really hard not to. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand.
How like we already know Urban Meyer is scum of the earth from everything that's happened in Florida. Like we've talked about it on and off through the years. But as a husband and a father, how can you sit there and say you didn't know?
It's tough to believe. It's tough to believe. I know there's no paper trail. There's no direct evidence that says that Urban Meyer knew, but you have people saying that they told Urban Meyer. You have people, saying that they talked to Urban Meyer about it. It's hard for me not to know. Urban Meyer talked about his wife at SEC Media Days, about how they're best friends, and they've been married 30-plus years. And how does your wife not tell you? That just doesn't make any sense, Urban. It's really hard to believe.
It is. And if I was head coach and I figured out one of my assistant coaches was beating his wife while she was pregnant and in front of his kids, you're going to be extremely lucky if I don't put my hands on you in the process of letting you go in my office.
You know what's hard to believe, Rev, is that how can you be a college coach, have a daughter yourself, and turn a blind eye to violence on females? Because that could be your daughter in those situations.
Exactly.
You just never know.
Exactly. And I'm going to be really curious to see how Urban spins this, because we already know he's come to the life. And there's a small chance that he could save his job, and the way he does that is literally selling his wife downriver.
Yeah. That's what's going to have to happen. He has to throw her.
Guys, I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Rev. He's going to have to throw his wife all under the bus. And I just don't see that happening. They put him on paid administrative leave. I'm sorry. I just don't see enough evidence that's going to point to him being innocent in this whole deal to where he's going to be reinstated. Well, I don't think he coaches at Ohio State.
And let's say this. There are text messages that suggest that Urban Meyer did know. There was a text exchange between Shelly Meyer and another assistant coach's wife where Shelly says, I believe the quote is, Urban is not sure what to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm
inferring that he knows past even what we're saying. It's hard to believe that Shelly wouldn't tell him.
Yeah, that's why I said that there's messages that suggest that he may know, but no direct evidence that he knew. No messages from Urban Meyer, no quotes from Urban Meyer at all. It was all people around him that said that they either told them or they will tell him. Again, it's just hard for me to believe that Urban Meyer didn't know. It's hard for me to believe that any college coach of his stature, all that power, does not know about what's going on inside of the program. I'm not talking about, one of your players, went to the convenience store and stole a 5-cent piece of bubble gum and you didn't know about it, 10 seconds after it happened. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about one of your most important coaches, your recruiting coordinator, who previously had issues that you knew about in 2009. Something happened in 2015, and you don't know? After your wife has talked with the victim? Man, please.
Not just talk with the victim, gone out of her way to check in with the victim, because there were also texts where Shelly out of the blue texted Courtney Smith and said, "Hey, I'm just thinking about you, wondering how you're doing."
Please.
So
we'll read some of the text messages so folks can get full context there of what was said. It'll blow your mind. It will blow your mind. This is going to change the trajectory of college football. There's going to be a ripple effect because there's going to be a huge job opening here soon. 865-255-03. Swain event. Be right back.
Hour one of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Small town, like a small town when I'm with you.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's. Or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV.
All right, let's get to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Back to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline, hour 1 here, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Let's get to Spencer in Memphis. Spencer, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
A couple things. The text message, I guess, to me, that stood out the most, beyond the pictures, which were, bad enough in their own right, is the fact that Shelley said, he really scares me.
Exactly.
And, I mean, I'll be honest with you, if my wife, anybody that I'm associated with, if she said, he really does scare me, and she told me why, that's it. It's done. It doesn't matter if it was a personal relationship that I have with somebody. We're done because it's my wife, right? And so there's no way if Shelley is public of a figure, she makes herself as a coach's wife, okay, said that she's scared that she's scared of him. There's no way Irvin didn't know. There's no way the other assistant coaches didn't know. And for all of them to sit there like a bunch of cowards just proves once again that anybody that's associated with Urban Meyer long-term is going to have that cloud over them. And that's my opinion as far as Urban and people that are associated with him. And that includes Greg Schiano, which, as associate head coach, you would assume he would be appointed the head coach during a time like this. But clearly, he's not good enough for that because he has his own issues, and we all know what those are. But everybody else wants to cover up, and the mainstream sports media and ESPN wants to cover for Urban Meyer as long as they can until they can't do it anymore. And as somebody who is your number one job if you're a husband is to be the protector of your family and to help those and stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. And you failed both times. You didn't protect your family because your wife's scared of somebody. You're not doing anything that shows that you'll be there for your daughters one day. And there's somebody that truly is crying for help, and you just say, oh, a wide receiver coach is more important than you. Because I've had, I've done all of these things in my past. I can't bring anything else on me. Sorry. Too bad. You're gonna have to take some bruising. Sorry. What a scumbag. I mean, there's not enough bad things I can say about Urban Meyer and anybody that associates themselves with him for a long time, because that's the other thing too. Is this is all on Urban Meyer, but it's also on every single one of his assistant coaches who have known about this over the past 2 years. Every single one of them. They're all in the same boat to me. But that's just kind of where I stand with it. I don't necessarily care about all the recruiting and everything like that. We're doing fine enough. We don't really necessarily have to have everybody from Ohio State just because of their situation. I could care less about it. I'm just happy that it appears that we have somebody that doesn't tolerate things like that. So, that's all I really got for today.
Thank you, Spencer. Thank you so much, man, for your phone call. Can't disagree with anything there. Let's get to Vol Nation. Vol Nation, good morning.
Hey, man, how y'all doing now?
Hey, man, doing well, man. Hope you are too.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. This news is disturbing.
Very.
I've got 2 daughters, and they're my babies. They're my girls. I don't care if they 12, 24, or 50. They're my babies. They're my girls, and I don't want nobody to put their hands on them, or we're gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I look at this situation, and being a medical professional myself, Shelley Meyer, I believe she's a trained psychiatric nurse. As a medical professional, I believe she was on staff or was on staff at some point in time at OSU. She has an obligation when she, whether written or unwritten, in our quote-unquote bylaws as medical professionals, when there's a form of an abuse, we're, in a sense, obligated to let somebody know. And so ideally, she should have probably told her husband, and then she would have had to report it because, once again, you're talking about a staff member doing this at Ohio State to his spouse. And so all that should have been put into motion at some point in time. And for Urban Meyer to sit there and say he didn't know, of course, none of us believe that. And this shows the lack of integrity and character, I think, of Urban Meyer. Also shows the lack of integrity and character of his staff, because obviously they're putting their reputations or the reputation of the football program, or however you want to put it, them being able to be successful before the health and welfare of this young woman. And it makes, to me, the whole university look bad, because it's hard for me to probably believe that maybe even the athletic director may not have known. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's no telling where all this goes, especially dealing with Art Browse and dealing with Penn State and dealing, with Louisville, and you have no idea. But this whole thing just looks really bad. And so, how can you as a parent, even consider allowing your son to come play for this man if he can't even protect a young lady from a staff member when he's got pictures? And he's very involved. From my understanding, like I said, they had an article where they were talking about how, or even he stated that he knew this couple personally. So there's no doubt that if you know this couple and you know the history, you're involved with them. He's known this kid, or this young man, since he was young. He knew the father. You know what I'm saying? So they have a lot of history there that he wasn't involved in some point in time and knew what was going on. So, his wife, you know, she's got Title IX issues as it is because if she didn't report it, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? And now you got Urban Meyer. I don't see how they don't blow all this up. They just need to start from scratch.
It smells funky, Vol Nation. You are 100% right, man. And we are up against the break, and we got to take a break. We'll come back with Attaboy. But it smells really funky. The whole situation smells funky. And I just don't see how Urban Meyer is going to survive there at Ohio State. We have Attaboy coming up next, and then we'll get back to the phones. Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Hour 1 of the Swain event is brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are located conveniently off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Showers likely today, with thunderstorms also possible after 1 p.m. Patchy fog before 10 a.m., otherwise cloudy with a high near 77. A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight, patchy fog after midnight, otherwise cloudy with a low around 68. A 30% chance of precipitation tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 83. A 20% chance tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a low around 68. Saturday, there's a 40% chance of rain, partly sunny with a high in the mid-80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
If you've ever had surgery, you may have experienced sticker shock when you received all of your bills. There's one for the surgeon, one for the facilities, one for anesthesia. The list goes on, and it can be totally overwhelming. Thankfully, Premier Surgical Associates offers a different way. Premier offers packages for laparoscopic gallbladder and select hernia procedures performed at the Premier Surgery Center on Paper Mill Drive. It's one price, one bill, and you know the total cost up front. It's exceptional care at an affordable price. Visit PremierSurgeryPackages.com right now to find out more about all of the excellent services that they offer. Premier Surgical Associates, expertise you can trust.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfer's or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, I mean, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Hey Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus, 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
Attaboy here on the Swain event where we highlight positivity. That is brought to you by Premier Surgical and PremierSurgical.com.
If you've ever had surgery, you may have experienced sticker shock afterwards and you received multiple bills, but thankfully there is Premier Surgical's office-based surgery center on Paper Mill Drive in Knoxville, and they offer flat fee package pricing for basic laparoscopic and gallbladder hernia surgeries. Just one price, one bill, and you know all of the cost up front. Make sure you go to premiersurgerypackages.com right now if you are in need of services, and you can learn everything about that. That's Premier Surgical Associates, expertise you can trust. And I have an attaboy, and the biggest attaboy from yesterday, this goes without saying, I think, Brett McMurphy. Oh my goodness. Just excellent sports reporting at the highest level, and the dude did it on Facebook. And he's obviously getting respect from everywhere, from all national outlets. But the funniest thing out of all this that has happened with McMurphy just dropping a bomb on Urban Meyer's head is that his former employer, ESPN, who he was laid off by earlier this year, has had him on twice. He was on with Scott Van Pelt last night, and then more or less the reason that he was fired, or one of the ones, Get Up, the morning show on ESPN, had him on this morning. And if you don't know the entire situation there, Mike Greenberg is essentially getting paid $7 million. Michelle Beal's getting $5 million. Jalen is getting paid some amount close to that, if not the same. And they gave these dudes, millions and millions of dollars, and they fired Brett McMurphy so that they could do that. And now they're having to eat a little bit of crow. Not even a little bit of crow, a ton of crow, and have Brett McMurphy back on because he swooped in and dropped this banger. I mean, my goodness, what? And he's been so petty and so salty on Twitter about ESPN. He said last night, "Thanks to Scott Van Pelt for keeping me on this time. Last time I taped a segment on his show, I got bumped." So good. Brett McMurphy is great. He's going to land on his feet. I think he has a deal actually with Stadium, who got the interview with Courtney Smith. I think he's going to be working for them sometime in the near future. But excellent sports reporting. I loved it. I love the pettiness.
I think this is a reminder, on a more serious note, this is a reminder of why media is important.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Don't let this fake news quote that's been going around and used so much really confuse you about why we have the media. So people in power can be held accountable. This does not happen. This story, us knowing about Urban Meyer and this pattern of negligence, we don't know about this if it wasn't for Brett McMurphy doing his due diligence, doing his job. And so before we automatically assume that the media is biased or, get mad at the media for doing their job and reporting the story, understand that this is why we have the media. You got to have checks and balances. So attaboy to Brett McMurphy, because I'm pretty sure he had to use his own resources, own funds to travel and stay in Columbus for 3 days to work on this story. Doesn't have a big company backing him like ESPN anymore. So whether or not he's petty, to me, doesn't really matter. A young woman story was able to be shared, and hopefully other men who are in power, other women who are in power that see this going on inside the organization doesn't turn a blind eye to it because they are afraid they're going to get exposed. So good job, Britt McMurphy. This is why we have the media. That's why he gets the attaboy today. Really good one. All right, let's get to Charles. Charles, good morning.
Good morning, Swain.
Hey, Charles.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
You sound great.
Yeah, man. I agree with everything you just said about the media and all that kind of stuff. You know how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've been censored on Twitter. You know that. So they kind of broke me off on Twitter, but that's okay. I got something for them. But, Swain, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think anything's going to happen to Urban Meyer. I really don't.
I don't see how he's going to survive, man. I just don't how they're going to spin this to make it work.
It's a lot of it's for a lot of reasons, Swain. I mean, and I'm gonna come see you, man. When the season starts,
okay,
we get a chance to chop it up and talk some good game.
Yes, sir.
But let me say this: I'm not caping for Urban Meyer at all. Okay, I think he should be fired. I just don't think it's gonna happen. And the state that he's in, it's just if he doesn't get fired before the end of the weekend, he's not gonna get fired because if what's true about what happened and he knew, they should have already broken him off before the weekend. They're going to let this thing blow over. The season's going to start, and Urban Meyer's going to be the coach. And if he's not fired, or if they fire him, me and you go on a dead end barbecue. We're going to talk some good game. We're going to chop it up, and I'll buy you some dead end barbecue. But I'm telling you, he will not be fired. Anyway, you guys have a great show. I'm hanging up.
Hey, thank you, Charles. And I get why Charles feels like he's not going to be fired because we've seen so many examples of coaches who, because they won, things were swept under the rug. We've witnessed the Penn State stuff. All that stuff went on for years before it finally came out. Louisville, Baylor. So Charles is seeing that and saying, okay, well, I don't see anything that's going to happen with Urban Meyer. I think they're going to, because they win, they're going to do exactly what these other schools have done. But with these other schools, it got to a point where they couldn't do it anymore. They had to make a move. And I think Ohio State may be at that point. I don't see how they're going to bring him back. I don't see how they're going to prove that he didn't know.
To essentially do that, we've already kind of said it. He has to throw his wife under the bus.
Yes.
To some extent. Is he actually going to do that? I mean, that would be the lowest of the low, man. But honestly, I don't know if I'd put it past Urban Meyer looking back at his history. He'll run over anybody else. Why not his own wife? But Charles may be right, but I would be appalled if he is able to keep his job, unless there's just some evidence that we haven't seen yet that Brett McMurphy didn't surface. But I doubt that happened because Brett McMurphy is extremely thorough.
He laid it out, and he said that there's plenty of things that he did not report that he knows about the whole situation.
Got more receipts.
Let's just keep that in mind. Hour 2 coming up. Stay with us.
If you love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the college, man. I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
Had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Touchdown or Turnover is up next on the Swain event.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The berry punch and activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the pure recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The chocolate gladiator and the chocolate shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK?
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown Turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. ATFCU.com is their website. Take advantage of their Got Debt promotion right now where they can pay you up to $500 for your debt. All right, gentlemen. Okay, gentlemen, here we go. We're talking about Ohio State. They are the biggest story of pretty much of the day yesterday. They will be
Sports
today in the sports world because of Urban Meyer's success as a head coach. Ohio State's a major football program. They've been very, very successful. So this will dominate the sports cycle for a while. But I'm going to switch gears just a little bit here. We'll get to Tennessee football for our touchdown or turnover. Do we see J.J. Peterson today? Do we see J.J. Peterson today? Will J.J. Peterson be here? We've heard reports that he will be here. Then I heard reports from Russ Probst also saying that he's not going to put a time on it. And there's a report that he did say Thursday. Do you see J.J. Peterson getting here today? Touchdown or turnover? Just your feeling. Not that you may know anything, but just your feeling. Do you feel like he's going to be here? Touchdown, turnover, guys. Today.
Touchdown for me. If he is not here already, I actually had multiple people the other night send me Tennessee's directory of students, and J.J. Peterson is listed there. And so he's in the directory of students. He is on the roster for the football team on the official website. I mean, the only thing that he has to do at this point is just show his face, I think. And we're good to go, I would assume. Seems like he's good on the academic side and good on the athletic side. Like, what are we waiting for here? So I'm gonna say yes. I think he is here.
I'm gonna go turnover. Go Vols 24/7 and Patrick Brown spoke to Rush Probst, I believe yesterday, and Rush Probst said that he doesn't expect him to be on campus on Friday as he is wrapping up his academic work. And
there you go.
And if he's not here on campus on Friday, he's not practicing. It's kind of hard to practice with a football team when you're not in the same town as your football team. So I go turnover.
Yeah, Rush seems to say felt comfortable or confident early in the week that he would be here, and then I guess something changed. It doesn't make the first report necessarily wrong at the time, because if Rush felt like he was going to be here, then
He
he
would've
said
said
that.
so.
The situation is fluid, and then GoVols 24/7. Patrick Brown wants to talk to Rush, and Rush may have gotten some different info about, okay, maybe it's gonna take another day or two. So based on Patrick Brown's article, I gotta say turnover. But anything can happen. Class doesn't start until August the 23rd. So technically he's not gonna miss any class if he misses today or misses tomorrow. But what he is
football
missing
class.
is he missing exactly right. He's missing football class, and as long as he's not on campus, his clock has not started yet. So I know you want to have him. You want him because he's a really good player. You want him to be on the football field, help this team win. But the moment he steps on campus, his clock will start. So if he gets here and he's not ready because he's so far behind, then he'll redshirt.
Apparently his last session of summer school was yesterday afternoon, and that he has a final to take today.
Oh.
We shall see.
And it sounds like they're waiting to see what grade he makes on that final.
That may be the case. But either way, he is, if nothing else, UT is prepared for him to come. So whenever he does show up.
You know how, like, I always say, if you hurt, put some tussin on it, or, you need to soak in some tussin. Maybe if you rub tussin on your temples, it'll help you pass tests a little bit better. Maybe. Tussin can work in multiple ways, right? Just like Coca-Cola, just like a soft drink. You can drink it, and then you also put on your battery to clean your battery. I mean, it got multiple uses, just like baking soda, man. So maybe you rub some tussin on your temples right there. J.J. Peterson, he'll make an A on all his finals.
If I rub some tussin on my spot up here where I'm starting to thin, do you think my hair would grow back?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll make sure to
Absolutely.
swing by the big box store today, pick some up, and test that out.
Absolutely. I think I can grow dreads if I just rub some tussin all over my head.
Speaking of dreads, did you see the picture of Eric Berry going around on the internet yesterday, looking like a Game of Thrones character?
Dude looks like a Viking warrior.
I mean,
it's awesome.
And he has like a dreads now and a big old fluffy beard.
I mean, he looks like a 2022 recruit to me. I don't see what the big deal is.
You're saying he'd fit right in with this recruiting class?
I mean, he just looks like a normal recruit.
With Savion Williams and
just finished up his sophomore year in high school.
Roman Harrison and Wanye Morris.
Yep.
Even though Wanye does have the baby face.
Yeah, he does.
But
he still looks like a grown man.
Yes.
Eric Berry legit looks like he just rode in to town on a horse after invading a town.
We know it was not a horse, though.
That's true. He hates horses. He's scared.
Horses.
So whatever, a dragon maybe.
A dragon.
He was on a dragon. Yep, that's it.
He picked up a ride with Shrek.
He was on dragon. 865-200-5503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. At some point, you're going to have to start talking about what Ohio State's going to do to try to keep recruits. Who's going to be the first recruit that says, "No, I'm out of here"?
I bet there will be one today.
I'm out of here. And that should have been touchdown turnover, but someone is going to say, "You know what? It's too much uncertainty. Nah, I'm out of here. I have plans to sign with the early signing period. I don't want to be a part of this." And it's not like Ohio State's the only place you can go, have a chance to win, and be coached by a really good coach and have a chance to play at the next level.
Yep.
It's not like Ohio State's the only place.
I just don't understand how, as a parent, you could send a kid to Ohio State at this point under Urban Meyer.
They are ranked right now second.
They won't be there for long.
At this point, how does Urban Meyer?
8th, I'm sorry. First in the Big Ten.
But at this point, with the kids on his team, how does Urban Meyer look these kids in the face and say, "Hey, you got to respect women"?
I mean, you can't.
Well, Coach, you don't respect women.
I mean,
why do I need to?
That's if you say that, you're being a hypocrite.
Yeah, exactly. That's got to be, if I'm the administration at Ohio State making these decisions, doing this investigation, whatever is going on, that's got to be, if not the biggest thing weighing on me in terms of making the decision for his employment. It's got to be right up there, because genuinely, this is a guy who's molding young men's lives. He acts as a father figure to a bunch of guys for 4 years. And how are you going to put a guy out there that got caught red-handed covering up a serial domestic assaulter? I don't know.
Ohio State has 15 recruits right now. 15 recruits who are committed. They are ranked 8th in the country by 247. Cardale Jones had a very interesting tweet yesterday. Cardale Jones is the national champion quarterback for Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes won the first college football playoff. They beat Alabama there in the semifinals, went on to beat Oregon in the championship game. Cardale Jones, after several quarterbacks got hurt, filled in, and then led Ohio State to the national championship. Cardale Jones is not much of a tweeter. Did not tweet for a while before tweeting yesterday. And it's been documented that Urban Meyer and Cardale Jones have not been on the same page in the past. And Urban Meyer has said some things that will suggest he kind of threw Cardale Jones under the bus there. But yesterday tweeted, "Funny how life works." That is it. Funny how life works.
After he hadn't tweeted for a week, he just drops in.
I'm sure he had plenty of interactions with Zach Smith being on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. He would have been there during the volatile period where all of this knowing took place. I mean, you got to wonder, did players know? Obviously, they're not in a position where they could really do all that much. But
I don't know how the players would know unless they overheard a conversation. I wonder if Zach Smith treated some of the players unfairly or gave them the Jason Brown treatment, MF'd them a lot, mistreated them, and maybe that's kind of where that tweet stems from. It's kind of like a karma. What goes around comes back around, biting him in the butt.
Brian Fisher, who is a college football writer there at College Football Talk and does columns for Athlon Sports, tweeted this out based on Brett McMurphy's report yesterday. He put together a 2015 timeline that he says Urban Meyer will need to explain. June the 6th, 2015, Courtney Smith and Zach Smith, they separate. June 6, 2015. October the 24th, Ohio State plays Rutgers, goes on a bye week. The next day, October the 25th, Zach Smith allegedly assaulted Courtney Smith. The next day after that, October the 26th, a police report is filed. 4 days later, October the 30th, Urban Meyer and Zach Smith, they visit Austin Mack in Indiana. So I'm assuming this is a recruit. So they spend time together. November 5th, text from one of the staff members' wives to Courtney Smith says that Meyer talked to Zach Smith about the October 25th incident. October 5th. So the text messages that Brett McMurphy obtained from Courtney Smith. It came from a Urban Meyer staffer's wife that said that Meyer talked to Zach Smith about the incident. And then November 7th, they play Minnesota. November 9th, 2 days later, menacing by stalking charge against Zach Smith. The next day, a restraining order for Courtney Smith is filed against Zach Smith. 2 days after that, November the 12th, Courtney Smith files for divorce. And then 2 days after that, November the 14th, Ohio State plays Illinois. So you're in the middle of a season. You're recruiting. You're talking to young men about their responsibilities on the field and making sure that they stay out of trouble off the field. And this is going on? Urban Meyer, Zach Smith on the road recruiting together. Zach Smith going home and doing what he's doing, and Courtney Smith filing restraining orders. Are you trying to tell me Urban Meyer didn't know?
It's essentially coming down to two things. Either Urban Meyer was just completely unaware, despite his wife knowing, every single one of the assistant coaches' wives knowing, and several other people knowing. So either he completely did not know, or he knew and was covering up for Zach Smith, who was the great-grandson of a former Ohio State player, Earl Bruce, who was Urban Meyer's mentor, and was trying to help him turn his life around. And to me, Urban Meyer had that health scare, and since then you hear in a lot of his interviews, okay, my wife is very important to me. She kind of allows me to stay level-headed while I have this humongous job on my hand. He always gives props to his wife, and so many interviews that he does kind of leans on her, and he says that all the time. So you're going to tell me a wife that you lean on while you have one of the biggest jobs in the country, she didn't tell you what was going on? When everybody knows that you have a good relationship in terms of telling each other things, communicating with your wife, and she didn't communicate to you?
And according to Courtney Smith, in the interview, Courtney Smith said that while talking to Shelly Meyer on the phone, Shelly Meyer said that she will have to tell Urban.
And
that's how Courtney Smith framed it. So.
And Courtney Smith said you should tell Urban.
Yes.
And so I find it hard to believe that Urban Meyer did not know.
Yeah, Early Bruce, yes, was a player. He recently just passed away. He was the mentor of Zach Smith and Urban Meyer, but he was a Ohio State coach there.
Zach Smith's grandfather.
Yeah, he was Ohio State's coach. So he is legendary in Ohio. So that is the tie there. I saw something where it's believed that Zach Smith is not even hired by Urban Meyer if it wasn't for him being the grandson of Early Bruce here. And again, this is an example of being born on third base and messing it up, taking it for granted.
Meanwhile, we have coaches out here in JUCO coaching, not getting paid, and may or may not ever get a chance to reach that level.
You got coaches who are quality control that have to serve as analysts, have to serve as just assistants that still is knocking on the door to try to get into the college game at the D1 level, and then you have a Zach Smith who was basically given an opportunity because of his grandfather, and he squanders it. I mean, again, just born on third base and you're thrown out. Born on third base. There's nothing wrong with being born on third base. But just take advantage of the privilege. Just take advantage of it. Just be a good person. Just be a good person if you're going to be privileged. Hour 2 of the Swain event brought to you by Alumni Hall, alumnihall.com. We will take a break and keep in mind, Tennessee football players are reporting to camp today. First day of practice tomorrow. Swain event, stay with us.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's. or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you. Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear the show, see the show. That's Swain Event TV.
Eight 255-255-03. Get game day ready at Alumni Hall, 6 convenient locations in Tennessee, or you can shop online 24/7, alumnihall.com. All right, who we got there on the line, man?
We've got Mark.
Let's get to Mark. Mark, good morning.
Swain, my brother, what's happening?
What's going on, Mark?
Man, one more day and we get to wash this taste out of our mouths. It becomes last year.
I know, right?
This year. One more day. I can't wait. I'm ready for it to be over, be gone, erase that crap, and it's on to the new stuff, man. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to play football. Hey, man, this Urban Meyer stuff. To me, it looks like one of two things. Either one, he's the most oblivious man in the world, or two, he's the biggest liar in the world. You don't lay your hands on a female, period. No matter what, you always walk away. I don't care if she's beating you to death. You walk away. You don't put your hands on her. I had a kid. I got. Oh man, did you hang up?
I'm here, man.
Okay.
I'm with you.
My phone was beeping. I thought I hung up. I had a kid. I got an 8th grader, right? Put his hands on my girl last year. I almost went to jail, man. I mean, I lost my crap. You don't put your hands on my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are worth going to jail for. I've been there once. It ain't that bad. That's all I got to say, brother. Go wrong.
Hey, thank you, Mark.
And I've seen people equating this to Rick Pitino in terms of coaches knowing and stuff. Rick Pitino, at least. I mean, that dude in some sense had a little bit of plausible deniability where he could at least say this was definitely a rogue employee. He was doing this on his own because there was no direct evidence linking back to Rick Pitino in that way. He could say it's one dude who organized all this himself. Like, Urban Meyer had, allegedly, according to Brett McMurphy, everyone around him knew. And we're supposed to believe that this didn't get back to him? I mean, that's obviously we're making an assumption, but that's a hard one to believe.
So that's that layer. The whole, Courtney Smith, Zach Smith, Urban Meyer side of it. There's a different layer that includes Tennessee fans. And the reason why it includes Tennessee fans is because Urban Meyer was placed on administrative leave. And when you look at a coach who either leaves or steps down or is fired, in this case placed on administrative leave, it seems that the next guy that will take over the football program would be the associate head coach. Kind of like a vice president, right? Something happens to the president, vice president maybe slides in. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. But Graciano is the associate head coach. Graciano has been a head coach at the college level and the pro level. I mean, what a resume, right?
There's no one on that staff that has better experience in coaching in terms of taking over as an interim coach than Greg Schiano.
Kevin Wilson, the former coach from Indiana. He's on the staff as an offensive coordinator, tight ends coach, co-offensive coordinator, tight ends coach. He would be a really good option, okay? Then you have the defense coordinator, Graciano, who is the associate head coach. Did they name Graciano the interim head coach? No, they did not. Neither Kevin Wilson with head coaching experience or Graciano with head coaching experience as the interim. They named quarterback coach and co-offensive coordinator Ryan Day interim head coach. Well, that's weird.
What a curious move.
That is very weird because if I recall correctly, Urban Meyer, Ohio State, and a lot of national media stumped for Graciano, talked about his character, talked about how fine he was as a football coach, which I think he's a good football coach, just not the best football coach. I think he's a pretty good football coach as a head coach. But you defended Graciano. You talked about his character. You talked about how him being mentioned in the Penn State stuff was not a good enough reason for Tennessee to hire him as a head coach. But tell me one thing, Ohio State. Why didn't you name him the interim head coach? Huh? Is it because that the optics do not look great? So it's okay for Tennessee to hire Graciano, but it's not okay for Ohio State to name him the interim when his resume is clearly better than anyone else's on that coaching staff to be a head coach in this situation.
This is some analysis from a guy who's on the Ohio State beat, Ari Wasserman. He said, Ohio State made a strong PR move by making Ryan Day the interim coach. Maybe Greg Schiano or Kevin Wilson would have made more sense experience-wise, but scandals of their own are the reason they're overqualified coordinators. Day is the safe and right choice. And here is the same person, Ari Wasserman. Back when the Schiano scandal was going down, he also had this to say. If Tennessee fans don't want a college coach who has never failed at this level, won at Rutgers, and coached under Urban Meyer for the last 2 years, there's no hope in Knoxville. Well, excuse me, Ari Wasserman, which is it? Scandals matter or they don't matter? Which one? You're talking out of both sides of your neck here. So excuse me if I have questions about your take here. I agree. This is the correct move for Ohio State because Kevin Wilson had a controversy with how he was treating players, because Greg Schiano had controversy with how he was treating players in Tampa, plus everything else. This is the right move. But now that it involves Ohio State, this is okay. But back when he was trying to go to Tennessee, Greg Schiano was trying to go to Tennessee, well, then Tennessee fans are crazy. Oh, what are they thinking? Oh, they need – Greg Schiano is God's gift to football. How dare you? Which is it?
Yeah, let me say this before we go to break, and let me be fair. Were there Tennessee fans that went overboard with the whole Graciano thing? Yeah. There were some that did go overboard. But it was not the majority. It was not the majority. The majority did not want the baggage that came with Graciano. Whether or not he knew exactly what was going on in Penn State, they did not want the baggage. Tennessee is at this point, with all the stuff that has happened in basketball and the athletic program with boosters, so much turmoil, so much drama, Tennessee fans just didn't want him because of the baggage. But national media looked at Tennessee fans as being crazy, as being wrong. And they're not. They're not wrong. The majority of them did not want Graciano because of the baggage. But Ohio State does not want to make him the interim coach because of the baggage. The Tennessee fans are crazy. Tennessee fans are wrong. Not in this case, man. Got to take a break. We will come back with T-Carp. Hold the line, T-Carp, man. I'm coming right to you. 865-200-5503. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Small town, like a small town when I'm
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress Back to School bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with a representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Pass downfield is complete. That's Swain. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. Touchdown.
Let's get to T-Carp. T-Carp, thank you so much for waiting patiently there on the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. T-Carp, good morning.
Of course, my friend. Speaking of B-Drive, it is raining cats and dogs out here in Merville, buddy.
It is, man.
Pouring. With the whole, with this whole Urban Meyer thing, isn't his wife employed? I don't know if you got this too. Is his wife employed by Ohio State as well?
Absolutely.
So if she knew, isn't she tied up in this whole Title IX thing?
Yes, sir.
Where she's obligated. Also, if they let Urban Meyer go, do they not have to let all the other coaches know by going off the evidence in these text messages? Because apparently all the other coaches knew as well. So we're talking about an entire house cleaning. Am I wrong to believe that?
If those Ohio State coaches knew they are employees of the university, then yes, they would be in some hot water too. I think that's why they felt like putting Urban Meyer on administrative leave so they can properly research everything that has happened. And maybe that's why Greciano and Kevin Wilson was not named the interim and they named the guy who just got there. Maybe the guy maybe that's the case.
That to me, if I'm looking at it, and I'm no legal expert, Jared Castile, one of your guys could definitely be the guy to talk to, but there's no way Ohio State can keep Urban. When you start looking at this, if this is true, he's gone. Your entire staff, honestly, is gone, and they've got to restart. Now, if I'm Ohio State, you know who I called today? I make the call this week. I make the call to Chris Peterson out in Washington. I think he's one of the best coaches, and that's who I call. But sure. I just don't know where they go. This is everyone looks at this and is like, oh, this is this or this is that. No, when you start looking at the fine details, it's pretty bad in Ohio State. There's nowhere they can go. So the best case scenario is you have to fire Urban Meyer's wife and claim that he didn't know anything because she didn't share it. But that's just not going to hold up very, very well at all in public opinion.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good one.
Thank you, T-Carp. Thanks for holding on. I just don't see any scenario where Shelley Meyer survives. I mean, she has to go at Ohio State, and it's going to take Urban Meyer to basically throw his wife under the bus to have any chance to be reinstated, in my opinion, based on everything that I've seen. Brett McMurphy, the interview from Courtney Smith, a lot of damning details that has surfaced about their knowledge of the situation and their failure to really do anything about it. Let's go back to the phones and let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals.
Good morning,
it's
individual.
Raining out here.
Oh, I heard, man. T-Carp let us know. T-Carp is the new weatherman.
That's right. He'll be filling in for Stokesy there.
Stokes dropped that hammer yesterday with Steve Spurrier.
Did. Oh yeah, I loved it. Hey, it's voting day, but by the way, you think Urban Meyer will throw his wife under the bus?
No, I don't think he will.
To save his job.
I don't think he will.
You don't think he'll throw his wife under the bus?
I do not.
You don't think? Okay. Well, it looks like Ohio State has a whole coaching staff full of Sergeant Schultz. Over the years, I know nothing. I still don't understand why they didn't just put that outstanding candidate that they was screaming that we didn't want, Shiano, whatever his name is now. I can't even pronounce his name this morning, bro. But I can't understand why they didn't put him in as acting head coach. Or maybe even put him in there as good as he was, the way they was putting out all that information on how great of a hire he would be. But the other thing I was wanting to throw up the flagpole there is if, which I don't think it's going to happen, but if they fire Urban Meyer, and you have Urban Meyer, and you got Hugh Freeze out there, which one would be the best candidate for your university if you was hiring him on
between the two?
Yeah, between the two.
Ooh. Between the two, if I had to pick, it would be Hugh Freeze. If I had to pick between him and Urban Meyer.
Well, that's what I thought, but that kind of could be a real deal right there. I guess if either one of them's hireable. But guys, I'll let you get out of here and don't forget to vote.
Thank you, Turkey Man. Appreciate it.
I tell you one thing: with all the college football scandals going on, Art Briles, Hugh Freeze, and Urban Meyer, you can form a pretty good coaching staff.
No, they'll just be analysts or assistants down there in Alabama. So, Butch Jones, you better be on the lookout because
intern watch.
Yeah, man, you might get replaced by Urban Meyer. All right, who we have next there? We got
Evan. And then Bo.
Evan, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, Evan.
Hey, so I'm getting a late start, so forgive me if this point's been made already. But if I'm not mistaken, I think if Urban Meyer last week at Big Ten Media Day, if he comes out and says at the podium, guys, I made a mistake. I should have fired him a long time ago. It's gone now. I apologize. Then I think we're having a totally different conversation today.
I think we are. I think Urban Meyer had plenty of chances to get rid of Zach Smith, to address this, to be accountable and move on. But instead, he said, basically accused Brett McMurphy of, making up the stuff that happened, and denied knowing anything about the 2015 events. I mean, denied everything. So he's on record denying it. So he's going to be made out to be a liar, or he's going to have a lot of evidence to show that he was not lying. He was telling the truth.
Oh, that's the thing. He's gone because right now the burden of proof has totally shifted. With him going on administrative leave, the university has to prove that he did not know, and there's no way for them to do that. So I think right now all they're doing is negotiating a buyout or finding out if they can fire him for cause because it's in his contract.
Yeah.
I think that's y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Urban.
Oh, sorry. I was just to clarify something you said there. According to Brett McMurphy, and you might have actually been getting this, there is a clause in his contract that if he breaks Title IX rules, they can fire him with cause.
Okay.
So that is possible. But sorry, back to
Yeah, I mean, and this is what Meyer said at the media days this past year, a few weeks ago. It says, in 2009, Zach was an intern. As I do anytime, and I imagine most coaches or people in leadership positions, when you receive a phone call, first thing you do is tell your boss, let the expert do their job. We're certainly not going to investigate. It came to me that what was reported wasn't what actually happened. So Shelley and I both got involved with the relationship with that family, provided counseling, and wanted to help them moving forward. This is what Urban Meyer said. Took place in 2009 when he got involved with Zach Smith and Courtney Smith. Urban also said, when he was asked about the 2015 incident between Courtney Smith and Zach Smith, quote, I got a text last night that something happened in 2015 and there was nothing. Interesting. Let's get back to the phones and let's get to Bo. Bo, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Hey, Bo. I'm good, man. How are you?
I've got a somber heart, man. there's 3 triggers in my life. One is child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
One is hitting a woman. The next is elderly abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I have very strong feelings for all 3. So my message is to Courtney Smith. Sweetheart, it is not your fault. A real man, not a boy, holds his wife like a fragile petal, puts it under glass and on a pedestal, and will protect it with his life. He will never hurt that flower. He will never touch that flower in anger, no matter what. I think of my own wife and the angel she has been to my life. And I've read this story, and my heart goes out to her. So, Courtney, if you can hear this, there are real men, there are real women in Tennessee that will stand up right next to you, darling. Don't ever think you're alone. Because real men do not do that. Boys do. And as far as Urban Meyer and the Schiano fiasco, that's for Ohio State to work out. And if they don't do the right thing, well then, there goes my opinion for Ohio State for the rest of my life. Because this does not go on. Not in today, not yesterday, not 50 years ago. But Courtney, you're loved. Keep standing up, darling. And that's all I got to say, fellas. Good morning.
Thank you, Bo. Appreciate those strong words there. Really appreciate you. A lot of people dropped the ball there when it came to Courtney Smith. A lot of people could have stepped up and did the right thing, but they chose not to. What's been really disappointing, and I figured we would see this, is the Ohio State fan base. And I won't paint all of them, because I did see some Ohio State fans saying, hey, man, Urban got to go if this stuff is true. I mean, sorry, man, this is not bigger. This is bigger than football. But I've seen a lot of Ohio State fans either get mad at Brett McMurphy, shift the blame to other folks that did not step up and do the right thing. I've seen some comments from Ohio State fans that feel like that, Ohio State will do their best to cover it up. Just keep your eyes open. It's easy to say that you care about doing the right thing until it maybe affects your interest, until it affects your world. Doing the right thing is doing the right thing. It's not a sometimes thing, it's an all-the-time thing, whether it affects you or if it does not. If the same thing were to happen in Tennessee right now, I would say, got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go. Be consistent across the board. Domestic violence even matters to you all the time, or doesn't matter to you at all. And so I appreciate, Bo's comments there. All right, let's go to Nathan. Nathan, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Nathan.
Yeah, what's up, man? No, dude, and especially when you're dealing with young men, you can't have this. You can't make it all okay and he's winning. I mean, you got young men, you're going to be bringing that university for generations and decades to come, and, got to stand for what's right, especially when it comes to using your power, whether it be physically or other ways towards people that depend on you or that are, in a position of less power. So totally agree with that. just speculate. You know, we can speculate just because this time of year and not a whole lot going on, getting ready to start practice. But, you know, just imagine, you know, who Ohio State's going to look at. And, of course, it's a total different animal. They can, I don't know if they can have their pick of the litter. There's always a lot of factors that go into it, especially when you're coming off a scandal. But just, I thought, you know, what if they went down there and, now this is far-fetched, but what if they went down there and plucked Dan Mullen and said, you know, we don't have Urban Meyer money anymore. We fired him with calls. We don't have to worry about buyouts for these guys. We're going to go down there and get the only proven guy that's out there. And Dan Mullen, to me, doesn't seem like he has a whole lot of allegiance to anybody. I mean, I guess he did to Mississippi State because they gave him his shot. But from what I understand, he didn't play play very well with the administration down in Florida anyways. But to see them go through what we did when Kiffin left would be comical.
Yeah, I mean, they do have some coaches who are more than qualified to take over this year, and then they can regroup and then go out and find themselves a coach next year. I mean, it's kind of like when Jim Tressel was fired and they made Luke Fickell the interim head coach. Mm-hmm. And when Urban was hired, he went back to be a defense coordinator, and now he's a head coach at Cincinnati. So, I mean, they have two former head coaches on that staff, you know, Kevin Wilson, who was at Indiana, and then Greciano, who is a former Rutgers coach and NFL coach. So I just don't see how Ohio State's going to be able to trot Urban Meyer back out there after putting him on administrative leave.
But it's like that previous caller said, though. Those guys may be hung up in all this, too, and not be available for that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they may. They may, man.
We don't know.
Well,
we don't know. So, you know, but then we go back to, you know, our history and why in the world we didn't let Keepy Brown come in and at least coach a year. And I mean, I don't know if he would have been open to that or not, but instead of going out and panicking and making hires and doing some of the foolish stuff we've done. But anyways.
Well, I appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much. What I keep going back to is the coaches' wives knowing. I don't care if you are married or if you have a girlfriend that you've been with for a very, very long time. You're going to hear about your wife's friends' relationships if it gets to that point. If your wife knows someone who's being physically abused, you're going to know about it in most cases. Your wife is going to tell you. How can Urban Meyer and the rest of these coaches, who wives knew, according to Courtney Smith, how are they going to deny not knowing? Because you are given cell phones by the university. You are given cell phones. So Ohio State, they can go back and track these messages to see if there was any communication about Courtney Smith and them knowing about what was going on. I'm pretty sure the coaches are not using burner phones to discuss Zach Smith and Courtney Smith's relationship. Pretty sure you're not using burner phones for that. It's real sad. Real sad. Tennessee is starting their football practice tomorrow. The players report today. The quarterback competition is something that we will keep an eye on tomorrow. Of course, everyone's going to look good. Everyone's going to be flying around. They will be in helmets. We will hear from Jeremy Pruitt today at noon. Also, a very, very important detail is that we're going to hear from the assistant coaches.
Finally.
Also, maybe this is a once-a-year deal because I was under the impression that Jeremy Pruitt, was going to do the same thing that Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban has done at their programs, and that is not let the assistant coaches speak and only have one voice, and that is a head coach. So I am a little bit surprised that we're going to hear from some of the assistant coaches. Charlie?
Genuinely, I'm hyped because they're the guys that I want to talk to the most on this team right now because the players you get a lot of, just homogenous answers out of that are not anything of use a lot of the time. But sometimes the assistant coaches, especially now that we haven't talked to them all of this time, I think we're going to get some decent quotes out of them, and specifically getting Tyson Helton, Kevin Shearer, and Chris Rump, so the offensive coordinator and the 2 defensive coordinators. And I got some questions. Not going to grill them. I just genuinely want to know their philosophies on things and how they're going to run their units, and I'm excited to hear from them. So
I think the most important coach speaking today is Tyson Helton.
I agree.
Because you know what you're going to see on defense. You can watch the Alabama national championship game and know kind of what Jeremy Pruitt wants to do. Obviously, he doesn't have the same players, but you know Pruitt can make in-game adjustments. You know he is a cornerback specialist, so he's going to work with the corners along with Terry Fair. Very hands-on. He's proven to improve defenses at 3 different stops, Florida State, Georgia, and in Alabama. Tyson Helton, on the other hand, we know his numbers there at Western Kentucky, but who was the head coach? The head coach was Bobby Petrino. So who gets the credit there? We know he was at USC. He was a quarterback coach, and he coached Sam Darnold. But was it all T. Martin? Was it all Tyson Helton? Was it Clay Helton? There's still people with different stories about who really was calling the shots at USC. There would not be any question about the offense here at Tennessee and who gets all the blame or all the praise. Who was responsible for the offense? Who is the caretaker of the offense? It's going to be Tyson Helton, man. So with the quarterback battle, with grad transfers at quarterback and at running back, and then JUCO players at tight end and offensive line expected to come in and play with a player that was kicked off the team but reinstated, coming off of surgery, knee surgery. I mean, a lot of things going on offense. And then you have a team that physically was built for passive football, was built for a spread zone blocking, and now you've had to use Craig Fitzgerald to beef up these guys because now you want to use a different style of offense. You're going to use a lead blocker. It may be a fullback. It may be a tight end. So a lot of questions for Tyson Helton today. I think he's the most important guy speaking. Ben?
I'm interested to see what the co-defensive coordinators, Kevin Shearer and Chris Rump, have to say, because when you're coaching under a guy like Jeremy Pruitt, who is known as a defensive mastermind, he is going to get all the credit for it. So I kind of want to know how that relationship is going to work on game days. Who's calling the shots? How will the interactions be on the sidelines? Kind of what the different roles will be, things of that nature.
Is this the first and the last time we hear from assistant coaches?
Yes. I think this is going to be the only time this season that we get to talk to them.
Take advantage of it now, guys.
Yep.
Hour 3 coming up around the corner. Hour 2 was brought to you by Alumni Hall. AlumniHall.com. Shop 247. Take advantage of their great deals. Get game day ready with Alumni Hall. Hour 3 coming up.
If you love the Swain event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the college, man.
I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's attached to with a refinanced auto loan with Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union with their Got That promotion. They'll give you up to $500 for your debt. Are you serious, Coach? That's right, Johnny. Alcoa 10 will pay you up to $500 for your debt. Now, let's get out there and spread the word. Say it with me. Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10, Alcoa 10.
ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. We can help. The Low T Center is reinventing men's health. About a minute past the top of the hour here, hour 3 of the Swain event. I want to take a look at the text box. It's right there on your free Swain event app for Apple and Android. So you can interact with the show. You can ask questions or make comments, and we will read the best ones here. KY Lake Vol, so I'm guessing that's Kentucky Lake Vol, says, hey, Butch could use a job as a head coach. Go Butch Eyes. Nelson from Jackson, do we think we land any of the current Ohio State Buckeye players or 2019 commits? If I'm a Tennessee coach, how could you not start the process in your mind about the possibility of potentially capitalizing off this? It stinks that Ohio State, the families are going through this, and Courtney Smith and her kids are going through this. But if you're a Tennessee football coach, you're thinking about giving your team every chance to win and getting good players. And so if some of these players are given an unconditional release, then, hey, you got to do what you got to do. It's like Florida. They got Van Jefferson because of all the stuff that happened there at Ole Miss. And they got Michigan got themselves a quarterback, Shea Patterson, because of everything that happened at Ole Miss. And so if you're a Tennessee coach, how could you not look at the commitment list and go, well, I mean, hey, Urban Meyer may not be there. There's going to be probably a mass exodus with that class. So
Absolutely.
Do we land them? I'm not sure. But I think there will be some communication with either commits or some players if they are allowed to leave. How could you not? 865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Tennessee has been recruiting lights out. We had Austin Price on last week, and I asked him over or under, if we put it at 2, will Tennessee get any commits over the next couple of weeks? And he said over. But my goodness, Tennessee has gotten way over that number. Austin Price of VolQuest joins us right now. Austin, good morning.
How we doing, Jason?
Man, doing great, man. Doing great. We got a question about, Ohio State's, recruiting class. And you've been doing this long enough, and you've seen coaches fired regarding scandals. Let me just go ahead and ask you, because you are the recruiting guy. You are the recruiting expert. How do you think that the Urban Meyer stuff is going to affect this recruiting class? And do you see maybe Tennessee coaches looking at what's going on as an opportunity to possibly purge some of those players?
Sure. I mean, I think every program within a reasonable shot of Ohio State wants to try to purge some of those players. And right now is the perfect time, especially if Urban does exit from Ohio State, Jason. And you look at a player like Kane Patterson out of Nashville. He committed to Ohio State because Urban really made him a priority. Urban was all over him, calling him constantly, texting him constantly. And so that made a huge impression on Kane Patterson. Mm-hmm. Well, if Urban's out of the picture, does that change things for a kid like that? And, how many kids are just like that across the board? So I think you'll see a lot of schools come after those players committed to Ohio State. And in reality, if I'm those players, I remain committed to Ohio State, and I privately start to just weigh my options. And if it ends up being Ohio State's the pick, Ohio State's the pick. But I think you never want to knee-jerk and just, I'm decommitted.
Yeah.
Well, that would be silly. Just, work it behind the scenes a long time until December and see what materializes.
Tennessee right now is sitting at 18 total commitments. They are ranked 11th according to Rivals here. We are getting close to that special sweet spot number of 25. Do you see Tennessee going right at 25, or maybe playing with the numbers like the previous staff did to try to get more, because this is Jeremy Pruitt's really real full class? How do you see this class playing out with the numbers?
Well, because of the fact that they took some, blue shirts in this past class, the number to me is less than 25. So if they get to 25, they'll be manipulating the numbers a little bit this year. But I do think that, they will go more than what they're supposed to and then just figure it out. I mean, and you see Alabama do that every year. That's kind of the model a lot of programs are doing with, going with. And right now, if I'm a Tennessee fan, the way I look at it is, you've got the recruiting class right now, but I think it'll look vastly different in 6 months. Because in 6 months, Tennessee's either had a better than, thought of year or, about what they thought. And if it's a little bit better, then you're going to have other players trying to jump in, and it's going to put you in really good position with the Quavaris Crouch type player, with Darnell Wright, with Chris Bogle, and some of these other players. And those guys have their spots. If they want in, they've got a spot. So I think, if I'm a fan, if I'm talking to the fans, I would just say, don't fall in love with anybody, unless it's like Wanye Morris or somebody like that. And because it could change. I don't see Ladarius Cox being a part of this class, but he's still committed to Tennessee. I mean, you just look at what they're doing along the defensive front. Who's to say that Tennessee doesn't have a solid year and Zion Lowe doesn't decide to try to flip from Georgia to Tennessee, or there are other possibilities as well. So, I guess my thing is I think it'll look vastly different 3 and 6 months from now than what it is currently.
Well, Austin, you were already kind of hitting on my question there a little bit. How much does the season's outcome weigh in these kids' decisions, do you think?
Well, I think it'll make a big difference for Darnell Wright, Quavaris Crouch. I think Wanye Morris, needs to see Tennessee have, a really good year. Now, granted, he's in the boat, he's committed, but Auburn's not going to go away. And other programs will continue to recruit Wanye. So, I think Tennessee needs to have a really good year. And when I say that, I'm saying a Lane Kiffin type year where you win 7 football games, you're competitive in the rest. I think the month of September is huge. I really do, because if you're 3-1, you're taking a huge step towards getting to a bowl game. If you can somehow pull off, an incredible run, and you somehow beat West Virginia and Florida, and you're sitting at 4-0, then this town's going to be hopping. And even if the season plays out like it did a couple of years ago, where you hit that October wall because you have such a tough stretch there with Georgia and Auburn and Alabama, and then South Carolina, who will be coming off a bye week, I still think you're in a good spot to probably win 7 football games. And at that point, you've shown significant improvement in year number 1 under Jeremy Pruitt, and he's got something to sell going forward.
Austin Price of VolQuest here in the Swain event. Jeremy Pruitt, first year as a head coach. Dan Mullen, proven head coach from his time at Mississippi State. Why is Pruitt seeming to be so successful recruiting in a state that does not produce a ton of in-state talent, is what people would say? Tennessee has to rely on outside states to go out and fill their roster. But why do you think that Pruitt is doing a good job right now, ranked 11th according to Rivals, and Dan Mullen seems to be struggling at a place like Florida that's a top 5 national brand?
I think it's the personalities and it's the relationships. Brian Niedermeyer is a big-time personality. Terry Fair, you watch him interact with his players out of practice, and you see why players want to play for a guy like Terry Fair. Will Friend, Jeremy Pruitt, Kevin Sherr, they're all kind of cut from the same cloth. They're very honest, they're very blunt, they're no nonsense, but they love a kid up as well. So I think it's relationships. It's the ability to, shoot a kid straight. And I think that really plays with today's kid because in so many instances you hear those horror stories of, Coach X promised this, promised that. And I think that's what got the last staff in trouble to a degree is too many promises. You can't promise everybody everything. And so in my mind, I think it's just the ability to relate and the relationships that they build. And I can't say enough how underrated Charles Kelly has been on this staff. He played a huge part with Jackson Lowe, played an even bigger part with Sean Brown, has really laid the foundation from his time at Florida State right through his time here with a guy like Chris Bogle. So, I look on the staff, they're always going to be a weaker recruiter and a stronger recruiter. But, I think on the whole, the staff has done a really good job across the board of, really cultivating and developing relationships that's put them in a position to be in the mix with some of the best players in the country heading into the season and to have this number of commits and quality commits as we get to the second day of August.
Well, Austin, we're finally going to hear from some of these assistant coaches today at the press conference around noon. What are you looking to hear about from guys like Tyson Helton and the defensive coordinators?
Well, I'd be interested to see what Tyson Helton has to say about, just being the premier play caller on the staff. Every step of the way, whether it was at UAB, whether it was at Western Kentucky, even at USC, he's never really had his own ship. And he's got his own ship. He's navigating the waters on this deal offensively. This is his show. And so I'm interested to just see what he's, it's different. As much as I know, coaches want to downplay it, I think even Larry Scott downplayed it a year ago. You can game plan and you can be a part of the game plan all you want, but to go up there and have a feel for a game, you take it to the high school level. George Quarles had the best feel I've ever seen for calling a game. He knew when to pull the trick play, knew when not to pull the trick play. He always had the defense, guessing and going off their back of the feet. That's a knack. You have to have a knack for calling plays, and I think we'll see early on with this West Virginia game when Tennessee will need to put up some points. If Tyson Helton has got a knack for just being able to get a feel for the game early and then just ride the hot hand.
Austin, it looks like Tennessee is going to make cornerback a priority. It seems like the recruits are comfortable because there's 3 currently committed, and there's other DBs, other corners that Tennessee is pursuing, and Tennessee's in good shape with. But what do you think about the conversation that's going between the recruit who's a corner and the Tennessee coaching staff about the number of corners that Tennessee's going to take, and the recruit just making sure that they don't find themselves in a situation where the boat is too crowded at that position? How is that going to work out?
Well, I think the pitch is simple. We don't really have anything. And, we have some young guys. We have some young players that we feel like can play. I think the staff likes Alontae Taylor at corner, but he's still raw at that position. Mm-hmm. Bryce Thompson, the same thing. They like a couple of those young safeties, Trayvon Flowers being another one. I think Bryce Thompson will get a look at some safety in fall camp. And so, I think the pitch is rather simple. And I think just the honesty that's there. Hey, we want you, but we also want player X and player Y, and because we need multiple guys. And so, I think Warren Burrell understood that Tennessee's going to continue to recruit guys like Tyus Field, Jaden Hill, Devin Bush, and on down the line. And all those guys understood that Tennessee was recruiting Warren Burrell. So I think that pitch is just rather simple because they're all being, they're being very honest with the player. Hey, we have to have multiple guys, and just understand, you're not. It's not just one corner we're taking. We're taking 3. We're taking 4, and I'm interested to see how it plays out. They've got 2 corners committed. Let's say they add Jaden Hill later, in August or September. What about Devin Bush? Do they take 4 corners and maybe move one of those guys to safety and a guy like Jalen McCullough, who's had a chance to get in the boat and kind of pushed it off as he left, on the shoreline?
Yeah.
Or do they go just 3 corners and then go the safety route with McCullough if they can land Jalen? So I'm interested to see how it all plays out. I think they have options. Options is always a good thing in recruiting.
Last question before we get you out of here, Austin. J.J. Peterson, I know you reported a couple days ago that that Rush Propst said he's going to be here on one day, and then we understand that the situation is fluid, and maybe Rush got some different information, and he said that no date. So, what is the current situation right now? Thursday, August the 2nd, 9:15. What is the current situation on not AJ Peterson, but J.J. Peterson?
Well, having talked to Rush yesterday morning, it became clear that, it's going to be probably the weekend, maybe first of next week before J.J. gets here. But they're still very optimistic, and that's the thing is, like, in talking to some people, it's not really changed. It's the optimism has remained.
Okay.
So you're not, a lot of times in these situations you see, well, we hope, I don't think you're seeing the big sigh and the kind of close your eyes and throw the dart against the wall here. I think there's still optimism. He's got a couple of classes he's finishing up that he had to finish to get eligible, and we'll see if he can get those done, in the next day or two, and then go through all the processes to hopefully maybe get to practice by the first of next week.
Yeah. Austin Price, VolQuest, at Austin Priceless on Twitter is how you can follow him. Austin, for those that want to follow this grind that starts today, and that's covering Tennessee football as the coaches address the media and players report to fall camp. Tomorrow's the first day of practice. How can people follow your grind, follow your work when they want to know about Tennessee football?
Well, we're actually going to be having a promo on VolQuest where you get 50% off. Check out our Twitter account. That's at VolQuest_rivals. Coming up in the next hour or so, we'll be putting out that promo where you can, get 50% off for the year. That'll be a 4-day run on that promo between now and the end on Sunday. And so the end of basically right through the open practice on Sunday afternoon. So, check that out if you're not a member and you've been thinking about joining. But you'll have great coverage in the War Room tonight with some insider details. And then, basically just comprehensive coverage all throughout the weekend, videos, written features, and the like, all the way through fall camp and into the season.
Well, Austin, appreciate the time, my friend. Thank you so much. Austin Price, VolQuest, Austin Priceless on Twitter. Appreciate it, Austin.
Thanks, Jason.
All right. Good stuff, as always, from AP there. 865-255-03. We'll take a short break and come back. Charlie, I see you over there. This Urban Meyer stuff, I think people see him, and maybe it's time for a lot of folks that know things about Urban Meyer. They're willing to tee off on him now.
Yeah, there's a political reporter, James O'Keefe, who I believe he runs Project Veritas, which is, I think, like a right-wing investigative reporting center thing. He says he's about to release footage that shows Urban Meyer has total disregard for physical safety.
Yeah,
who knows?
We'll see.
It could just add fuel to the fire.
And Zach Smith is going to try to tell his side of the story and probably have some damning things to release about Courtney Smith too, as he tries to defend his name. So a lot of things going on there in Columbus, Ohio. Swain and Vince, stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
Hey, Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Why should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
Get ready for a better school year by shopping the Back to School sale at Better Mattress happening now. Whether you're a parent or a student, you know a good night's sleep makes a difference in your day. Whether it's the patience to sit in school traffic or the concentration you need to pass your test, a better night's sleep is super important for the whole household. Right now, choose a twin, full, or queen bundle deal, all starting at just $379. The Back to School bundle deal from Better Mattress is everything you need in one stop for a better night's sleep. Get a mattress, box spring, frame, sheets, and a memory foam pillow, all delivered for free, starting at just $379. You choose the size twin, full, or queen, the price stays the same. We know one size doesn't fit all. Over a dozen different mattresses qualify for this offer. Have a better school year this year. Get the Better Mattress Back to School bundle deal while supplies last. Tell them Seth sent you and ask to try my mattress. Don't wait, shop now. Chat live with a representative at bedrmattress.com. Good night just got better.
Gentlemen, get back in the game. Did you know that 1 out of every 3 men over 40 may have low testosterone? Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. Do you know your numbers? Well, I know my numbers. Low T Center made it quick and easy. I walked in, I took a simple blood test, and I knew my result in about 20 minutes. Their service is even covered by most health insurance. So give them a call, 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388. Or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Today's lunch special is the Bernie Mac Skillet, a generous portion of our house-made macaroni and pimento cheese, topped with burnt ends, brisket burnt ends, garnished with the spicy barbecue wing sauce and green onions. And there's always a vegetarian option there. You can get the pimento mac and cheese, but instead of the burnt ends, it can be the grilled peppers, onions, roasted garlic tomato wedges, but still have the spicy barbecue wing sauce and onion straw. So if you don't eat meat, Dead End still has a treat. How about that? Look at that flow. Sign me, Jay-Z.
Free little tagline for Dead End.
Sign me.
Where else can you get advertiser value like you can get on a Swain event? We'll come up with your taglines for you.
Sign me to my new rap deal. I'm ready. I am ready. 865-255-03 on the B Drive Waterproofing Hotline. So many different angles. This Ohio State deal. Tennessee fans are certainly involved because of this narrative that they're crazy. Which, I mean, in a way, we are crazy. I mean, that's we're fanatical. We're fans. There's no doubt about it. We're crazy. We can, after 10 years of what's going on in Tennessee, we're still going to go to the games. We're still supporting the university. So I guess in a way you can say that we're crazy. But this notion that Shiano was unfairly treated because most Tennessee fans did not want him because of the baggage. Some other Tennessee fans did go overboard. I would be naive if I just said that the small minority did not take things overboard. But for the most part, Tennessee fans just didn't want the baggage. And it looks like Ohio State doesn't want to deal with the baggage either with Graciano as the interim coach. But it could be that some of the older coaches that have been there, maybe their wives knew, according to Courtney Smith, and maybe they want to investigate, Ohio State wants to investigate which assistant coaches knew for sure. Tennessee starts practice tomorrow. We talked to Austin Price. J.J. Peterson will not be here today. According to Austin Price, it's going to look more towards the beginning of next week. But they're confident. They're optimistic that he's going to be here. And for me, that's the only thing that matters. Either that he's going to be here at some point, and he'll have opportunity to attribute this season. If he's not ready, then you redshirt him. And then you'll have him for the next 3 to 4 years. But as long as he gets here and he doesn't have to go to JUCO, you don't want him to go to JUCO. Just get him here at some point. I will be good to go.
And obviously, big thanks to Austin Price for joining the show. But someone who won't be joining the show, that'd be Dan Wolken.
No, I extended the invitation for him to come on anytime, and I've probably been the nicest Tennessee guy to Dan Wolken.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah, I've been the nicest. But today, I was blocked by Dan Wolken. I don't know what I did. I was blocked by Dan Wolken.
It's sin by association. The fact that we do a show together.
Maybe.
If I had to guess, because I caught the block along with a whole bunch of other people, because we both posted that we got blocked by Dan Wolken, and we've had a whole bunch of people say, I got blocked by him too yesterday. I got blocked. So it seems like he's doing kind of a mass blocking of Tennessee fans. Maybe finally, after 8 months of Tennessee fans just ragging him endlessly, he's throwing in the towel. Tennessee fans gave him enough hell that he's like, well, I guess I just have to block you now. He put up with it for a long time, though. I'll give him a little bit of credit there. But otherwise, he is, in my eyes, the king of clowns as far as reporters go. This doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So
I'm crushed.
Whatever, Dan.
I'm crushed, man. I was nice. I was nice to Dan the whole entire time.
Am I still supposed to call Dan, though? He wanted me to call him, remember? He said, you've had this offer for months to call me, and you still haven't. Is the offer still on the table since I'm blocked?
I don't know. Maybe he blocked your number, too.
Possible.
Maybe. But, oh, well.
Lost opportunity.
Udawa Vol says, what are your thoughts on the Gaulden hit in practice? We touched on it a little bit the other day, is that the hit in the game is all good. No problems there. But you don't want to hit your own players that way. You don't want to hit a defensive player in practice. Just like it's offensive lineman, you don't want to cut your own defensive lineman. You don't want to, if you were a defensive lineman, sack the quarterback and hit him. You don't really want to get close to him because you don't want his hand on a pass to come forward and possibly hit the helmet of a defensive lineman and break his thumb. So you want to protect your own guys. And I think a lot of people who did not play at this level or play at the NFL level, they're failing to understand that there's a code about protecting your guys in practice. I think a lot of people saw the clip, and because it's football, said, "Oh no, that's a clean football hit. What's the problem?" You don't want to hit your own guys like that. That's the issue. And Rashawn Gaulden knows that. He'll be okay. He will learn. But I would rather have an aggressive Rashawn Gaulden than a Rashawn Gaulden who's passive, who won't hit. So he'll be just fine. He will get used to the NFL way, and he'll be just fine. Let's get to the phones, and let's get to Bo. Bo, good morning.
Good morning again, guys.
Hey, Bo, what's on your mind again, man? You decided to call back.
Well, after my last call, I just had to call my wife and tell her how much I love her.
You're a good man.
But then I got to thinking, man, I'm not in such an exclusive club because Dan Wolken blocked me too.
I think we need to have a support class for all the folks who've been blocked by Dan Wolken, man. I don't know how we're going to be able to go on.
I don't know. I think we all need just a patch. Hey, I've been blocked by Dan Wolken. I'll wear it.
Yeah, I mean,
I can barely even navigate Twitter. I mean, I'm an older guy. I mean, I'll look at Twitter, I'll read it, and I enjoy it, and sometimes tweet some stuff. I have no idea what I'm tweeting sometimes. I'll just be honest.
Same.
But yeah, I got blocked. I've got like 25 followers. I mean, really? I've got 25 people that follow me, and probably 18 of them are family.
I mean, I just don't understand the point of blocking someone who has not said anything that's, you know, maybe a personal threat or maybe like super offensive. Because if someone really wants to read your tweets, they can read your tweets. There's a way they can go around being blocked to read your tweets
orange,
if they really wanted to. But I mean, that's why I just think it's pointless to block somebody. And I haven't said anything to Dan.
I think he sees the orange, and
I guess.
You know, I bet he never watches the sunrise.
Well, he might try to block it too with some shades. Yep, he may be triggered every time he sees orange now. So.
I mean, bless his heart. You know, I think I called in a couple of weeks ago about the bless your heart thing.
Yeah.
Poor Dan, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
I mean, all it would take was to be a man and say, "Hey, Vol fans, I apologize." It would quit.
That's all, man.
No, I think he deserves an attaboy and a for what in the same sentence because, for one, he responded in such a terrible way to a legitimate question. So I'll give him attaboy for responding, and then I'll give him a for what for responding.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Bo, thanks, man. Thanks for the phone call.
Hey, thank
Appreciate
you guys.
it.
Enjoy you every morning, man. Appreciate you.
Well, and I wanted to even talk about what Wolkin said. I don't know if I can find this now that he has me blocked. I have to.
You're blocked. You can't see it.
Well, I have to get into my burner. I literally have a burner account.
I will pull it up for you because I have not been blocked.
Ben doesn't confront people on Twitter, so he doesn't get blocked. So
no, Ben.
I'll confront people on Twitter. I don't confront people on Twitter 24/7. Like you confronted Dan Wolkin.
You don't seek it out like I do. Yeah,
I didn't confront. Dan Wolkin.
Swain didn't either.
Well, Swain didn't either.
That's why I said you're.
But
I think in Wolkin's eyes, you're guilty by association.
But you got to understand something. While Ben has the ability to follow Dan Wolkin and see his tweets, Ben is now working with RTI, Rocky Top Insider. He has a new gig in addition to him being with us here on the Swain event. So Ben is big time now. That's pretty much all he's trying to say without saying.
That's debatable. And for the record, I do not follow Dan Wolkin.
Got it.
Well, the tweet. Maybe we can just talk about it when we get back. What did he say? The one that starts out that this had nothing to do with Tennessee.
What happened at Ohio State today has literally zero to do with Tennessee.
That's all he said? I thought it wasn't longer.
Well, that was the A part of the tweet.
Yeah, he had an A, B, and C part in a response to a Tennessee fan.
Which the A part isn't technically wrong. And what happened at Ohio State yesterday had literally zero to do with Tennessee.
Correct.
And then B was why the weird obsession over this 8 months later. You're embarrassing yourselves. And C, I'm glad you're happy with your coach who, like Shiano, had no head coaching offers besides UT.
See, and
we got to go to break.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Hour 3 continues after this.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
According to a New York Times article, this was surrounding the whole Aaron Hernandez stuff. This article was written by Greg Bishop in 2013, and it spoke about Urban Meyer's time at Florida. A roster on the university's website lists 121 players, 41 of whom have been arrested either in college or after, or sometimes both. That number includes 16 players on that season's final two-deep roster, 9 of whom were starters, as well as a kicker, punter, and returner. Some of those players went on to the NFL. They also mentioned, Cam Newton, who got in trouble with the laptop, stealing a laptop down there when he was a freshman. But it kind of speaks to how Urban Meyer has allowed things to just kind of remain behind the scenes when guys get in trouble. And, I can understand Urban Meyer allowing these things to go on for so many years in Florida and knowing that the balloon is getting ready to pop. You're not ready to retire, but if this continues at Florida that you're going to be in a Jim Tressel situation. You're going to be in an Art Brow situation. You're going to be caught up in a scandal, and you're going to get yourself fired. So step down, and that's what Urban did. And then, conveniently, he had a great opportunity right there that was open at Ohio State. But you don't change stripes on a leopard, man. Just the location. So Urban Meyer has always let things slide for a while, and I think it's bit him in the butt here.
Well, can we go back to this just to cover what we were talking about before we went to break?
Yeah.
With this Dan Wolken tweet, and crap, let me go back and somebody sent it to me, and now I lost it getting too many of these notifications.
Hey,
Here we
go
go.
to Trusty Ben. Ben is
true.
not blocked.
I got it. So Dan said, A, what happened at Ohio State today has literally zero to do with Tennessee. B, why the weird obsession over this 8 months later? You're embarrassing yourself. C, I'm glad you're happy with your coach, who, like Schiano, had no head coaching offers besides UT. So Dan is right with A. What happened at Ohio State does not technically have anything to do with Tennessee. But the reason that people are bringing it back up 8 months later, Tennessee fans are not embarrassing themselves. Tennessee fans were vindicated yesterday, completely and fully. Ohio State does not believe in Greg Schiano enough to make them their head coach, to make him their head coach. What more do you need to know right there? Urban Meyer stands up for this guy, along with every other member of the national media, and they're just, blowing smoke up,
Except for
up everywhere.
Barrett Sallee.
Except for Barrett. God bless him.
And national
Mike Freeman.
Mike Freeman and NFL writer for 247. I want to say Alan Bell.
Well, he's a Tennessee grad, but
okay, well,
yes, but he is the managing editor at 247 of NFL.
He's still national media.
Yeah, Alan's awesome. But yeah, technically it didn't have anything to do with Tennessee. But the fact is this, that Tennessee fans were vindicated yesterday. It just is what it is. He's the associate head coach, and you don't make him the interim because it's, according to an Ohio State beat writer who ragged on Tennessee back when, because according to that guy, it's a great PR move. That has, at the end of the day, Tennessee fans need to notice that. That is something that gives Tennessee fans the like I've been saying, the vindication that they needed back then. Everyone in America ragged on this fan base for days and days and days, and now finally they've in a big way been proven right. So whatever, Dan, you can stick it.
Tennessee, when they fired Butch Jones, it was not a surprise that they moved interim. They moved Brady Hoke into the interim role because he had head coaching experience. He was also the associate head coach. He was the number 2, according to his title. And it's just weird that two guys that have head coaching experience didn't get the nod. So we'll see what happens at Ohio State. There will be more that probably is uncovered today. There's a lot of Tennessee residents that are Ohio State fans that had a lot to say during that time with Greciano. There's a lot of them that put their foot in their mouth during that time, and I wonder what they have to say now that everything is happened. Congratulations to their let me make sure I get this right, the in-state player that committed to Arkansas, Adonis Ote, committed to Arkansas, so congratulations to him. At the end of the day, it's about a young man getting his education paid for and have an opportunity to better himself. And Tennessee fans are going to look at the rankings and go, oh, wait a minute, Arkansas beat us out. And that's just not the case. And so just understand that Adonis and Tennessee, they know they just don't have a mutual interest. But that doesn't mean to point the finger at Tennessee or point the finger at Adonis. Be happy that this young man is having an opportunity to go to get his education paid for and experience a brand new world at the college level. So I just wanted to make sure I said that. I thought about that yesterday, and I want to make sure I said that before we wrap up today's show. There's going to be players from the state of Tennessee that are ranked nicely by certain recruiting service, and you're going to see other teams probably get them. It does not mean that Tennessee lost to them every single case. Did Tennessee lose Kane Patterson? Yeah. Did Tennessee lose Bill Norton? Yeah. But that's not the case every single time. And there's players that Tennessee has on their commitment list that their in-state school lost. So that's just the way it works in recruiting. All right, let's get back to the phones. And
we've got Rod.
Let's get to Rod. Rod, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, you know I'm wonderful.
Good, man.
I just want to try my best to end the show off on the right note because I know y'all like to, be positive on the show.
As much as we can.
As much as we can, yes. We all know that God puts people in your life at the right time, the right moment, the right seasons for the right reasons. All I got to say is thank God once again for Beverly Davenport. Y'all have a blessed day.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. We are glad that Coach Fulmer is the AD. I saw where Carol Lawson was sworn in as a board trustee member, and so we just really encouraged by her involvement there. Beverly Davenport did some good things, also did not do some good things, but wish her nothing but the best as she moves on with her career. 865-200-5503. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Showers likely today with thunderstorms also possible after 1 p.m. Patchy fog before 10 a.m. Otherwise cloudy with a high near 77. A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight. Patchy fog after midnight. Otherwise cloudy with a low around 68. A 30% chance of precipitation tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 83. A 20% chance tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a low around 68. Saturday, there's a 40% chance of rain, partly sunny with a high in the mid-80s. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
Small town like a small town when I'm
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue has a new slew of daily specials. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Chipotle chicken salad, the chicken tender sandwich, or the kitchen sink burrito filled with brisket, pulled pork, and chicken, not to mention queso, jalapenos, and more. It's called the kitchen sink for a reason. Dead End isn't stopping at your plate, though. Be sure to check out their new summer drink offerings, including the Big Orange Crush, My Clementine, or the Tequila Squirt. There is always something new at Dead End Barbecue. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End Barbecue. The summer flavor search is over.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement, or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense?
Swain, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Again, good job to Brett McMurphy for his due diligence, his work, a constant reminder of how important the media is, especially honest media. And I understand when you have media that does not operate with the proper level of professionalism and integrity, it is very dangerous, very, very dangerous to share personal narratives that can be damaging to victims or an accused person. So it's very, very, very critical, very important that the honest media that we see more and more of their work. I don't like how sometimes media is painted as the enemy. I don't like it at all. I think it's very, very dangerous. We saw a couple weeks ago of a newsroom being shot up and lives lost because of that. But what McMurphy did was what should have been done a very, very long time ago when Urban Meyer was at Florida. Charlie, what you got over there?
Well, I just had a couple of notes here going out the door since we only have a few minutes left. First off, go vote today. Please. Your local elections are what affect your life the most, way more than any presidential election ever could. So go vote. There's that. But then past that, the first meeting of the brand new Board of Trustees of the University of Tennessee was last night. So keep your eyes peeled. Not that I think that anything, controversial happened. I think it was probably just a little introduction, meet and greet, something like that.
Well, Kara Lawson was sworn in.
But, yes, the folks like Kara Lawson, Bill Rhodes, Donnie Smith, Jai Templeton, who was not on the board before. I think Bill Rhodes was. But this is a brand new board with only 12 members, where before it had much more and many more members and student members. There are no student members anymore either. So, I emphasized it back when all this was announced. This board needs to be held as to complete account because the decisions that they make day in and day out really matter. And so just, look out for that. It's happening. That is underway. And it was such a controversial thing because it was Bill Haslam's project as he's going out the door as the governor of the state of Tennessee to get this new board of trustees put in. And so, like I said, they need to be held to account as much as possible. I hope they do good things. I think Kara Lawson is brilliant, and she was a great choice for the board. But we'll see what happens there. Just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
What are we looking for from Jeremy Pruitt? What do you want to hear? What are you looking forward to when Jeremy Pruitt talks today as Tennessee prepares for fall camp, first practice tomorrow? I know we spoke a little bit about Tyson Helton and how important he is being offensive coordinator for a defensive-minded head coach. But Ben, Charlie, what are you guys maybe looking forward to hearing from Jeremy Pruitt?
I don't know that he'll share this information, but I would love to know how he is going to attack fall camp. What is the plan? I don't remember if you said this on air or off air, but practice is at 2:50 this fall, and you mentioned that is right in the middle of the day. It is hot as all get out, 3 or 4 o'clock. So are they trying to get in there, get their work done, get out before it gets really hot, or are they, a lot of old school coaches, which Jeremy Pruitt is, love that tough, build that physical mentality to overcome anything. We're going to practice in the hottest part of the day, and we're going to overcome that adversity. We're not going to pretend to that it bothers us. So I want to know kind of what Jeremy Pruitt's thinking is behind how they're going to schedule out practices and whatnot. And he definitely won't tell us this, but how much install goes into West Virginia at what pace? Obviously, he's not going to share that with us, but how quickly are you focused on West Virginia? And I know they worked on West Virginia in the spring and have been working on them during the summer, but West Virginia is, 30 days away now, 31 days? It's time to get going now. So how quickly do they move on to West Virginia and preparing for that offense?
Yeah, good questions there. I mean, Tennessee, because we haven't been relevant, and especially last year, and we know how the season went last year. Tennessee is not going to be starting the season with too many night games. So you play 3:30 against West Virginia, you play 4 p.m. against East Tennessee, and then you play at noon against UTEP. So your first 3 games are going to be during the day. So there's a balance between preparing your team for the heat and being as careful as you can, and communicating with the trainers to make sure that they're giving proper time to cool their bodies down. I remember when we were playing, you had a mandatory 10-minute break where you had to get under the tent, and you had access to cold towels and fans and all types of hydration to make sure you don't cramp up. We had a guy cramp up and had to go to the hospital. He was out for a couple of days of practice, and so you don't want to play around with the heat. Karma is undefeated. Mother Nature is undefeated. And, when I say Mother Nature, I'm including the sun. The sun is undefeated. You can't beat the sun. The sun will beat you down. The sun is undefeated. So you just got to make sure you're very, very careful and responsible there. But you also are trying to make this football team tough. You're using fall camp to mold the identity of this football team physically and mentally. And, yes, these players have been running with shorts on. And they're in shape in that aspect, but they still have to get in shape when it comes to wearing the pads and hitting every day and getting up and doing it over and over and over again, because that's what you're going to be doing during the season. And so a lot of work to be done. We'll hear from Jeremy Pruitt today, and tomorrow we'll come back, get ready for the first day of practice, and discuss the comments of Pruitt and his assistants here on the Swain event. A lot of Ohio State stuff today, but I'm sure you understand why. Bombshell out of Columbus regarding Urban Meyer, and we'll see what happens later on today. For Ben McKee, recently joined up with RTI, congratulations. Charlie Burrs, myself, who blocked by Dan Wolkin, beat that. That is our time for today. Peace and love. Have a great day.
All right, team, listen up. It's tailgating time again in Tennessee. But most importantly, team, you're going to need to refi that tailgate and the truck it's